Hey, what's going on out there? I'm Sean Devine. Hope you all are doing well. What you just heard is the all-new Lofi Suite plugin from Waves. It's called Retro Phi. I did receive this in advance for testing purposes. I've been very inspired with the results I'm getting here. I'm going to show you a number of different uses that I have here for it. Hopefully get your wheels turning, give you some ideas for your own mixes, your own productions. And then I'm also going to let you download all of the presets that I created here. This plugin imparts a very interesting vintage character. And if you're looking for that grungy, just less than perfect, but really intriguing sort of tone, then this is the plugin for you. Let's play back this guitar dry, and then I'll activate Retro Phi and we'll talk about the different modules and settings that we have available. So the first module we have is the device, and this is the pre-processing or just the core tone that you're going to get before we start sending it through a lot of these other processes. By changing this, we get some different things that are going on behind the scenes in terms of an EQ curve. We also get some different dynamics processing there, and we'll really change the sound. And then we can utilize the styler to set kind of a time period. So of course, from the 50s up to the 80s, we had a very different sonic quality to recordings. And so these are going to give you more of that true to time sort of sound here. Moving over, we have a squash control so we can heavily compress our sound. And then below this, we have a ringer, which is a ring modulation. I've found that just using it very minimally can give you that wobbly sort of effect. So let's turn that on. Next up, we have the space module, which is a combination of an echo processor as well as a reverb that can utilize both a spring or a plate, and it can also get up to 20 seconds. Let's disable this whole preset on this synth. Moving over to the noise module, this beat was started with a very simple drum loop. Once we activate Retro Phi and the noise module, we can utilize these different noises, all these different kind of oscillators for the noise to either be triggered by a duck, meaning that once we get above the threshold, it will actually duck the sound, or a gate. Once the sound increases according to the threshold, that noise is also going to increase as well. And it gives you some very interesting textures and results for your loops. The mechanics control is essentially a wow and flutter analog tape processing, and you get two independent wow controls, wobble controls, and speed controls, and you can combine these and run them simultaneously to get a very, very interesting sort of drift. popular sound in today's productions, and the mechanics module makes that extremely easy to dial in. I can tell you some of the things that I've done to achieve this in the past have taken a tremendously long time, but here with this, very easy to do, and you also get a very musical result that will fit in the context of the mix. Now finally, at the bottom of the interface, we have both a high pass filter as well as a low pass filter, so we can combine those together. And then we also have a mono control, which is really useful if you have a sound that you just want to really narrow things out, give it more of that vintage mono sound. We can do that very easily. Let's take a listen to a couple of bass elements, which you may not think that this would be the kind of thing you would want to apply space and some of these other processes, but I've been getting some cool results with it. For example, here with an 808, let's just disable for now, and then we'll listen to it with this Filth 808 preset. And with. Moving over to our other bass line, just kind of a Moog style synth bass. With the noise mod and the device, we get a lot more aggressive sound. We get a bit of a growl and something that's going to stand out in the mix much more. One more preset here. This is Choir from Space. This is without, and then we'll activate it. All right, y'all, so as you can hear, some very interesting, inspiring results you can get for your mixes as well as your productions using the new Retro Phi suite from Waves. I am going to also provide all of these presets as a free download, so check that link in the description. A lot of different stuff to get you started, get you going with that. If you learned anything in the video, please like, subscribe, and consider sharing. Hit that notification bell for more. We'll talk to you soon.